Okay, here's another one. There's a lack of daddy love. And that's for sure as far as you or somebody. So we have somebody who might act like jelly around you. You know how jelly is, right? Not really sure. Wiggling around in the mind. Get what I'm saying? Not being certain, not being sure, not being confident, or whatever you want to call it, right? Or somebody just like jelly. Get what I'm saying? In their emotions, right? For you. Or with you. So we got a dominatrix, right? We got a lady or a trans person, right? Because you know they different. A lady is a lady, a trans is a trans, okay? So let's just get that straight, right? Okay? Go within and get yourself healing, right? Whoever you are, one of you, you know, because something is nonsense, right? You might be dealing with a lot of ladies, around a lot of ladies, work with a lot of ladies. One of you might be sweet, you or whoever this is. Heart poisonized. Your heart is poisonized though, maybe against somebody, whoever it is. If it's not against somebody. I don't know who it is, right? Right? So let's just say there's a shot tower moment where you're getting upset maybe in June as far as somebody, because your heart is poisonized, or maybe somebody against you. Okay, so you're gonna be delightful. Well, you want the person to be delightful to you, bring some kind of delight to you, or you need to put it out there. You gotta stop falling in the trap of insanity dealing with whoever this is, right? So it could be somebody at work, don't have to be. It could be your neighbors. I don't know who it is, right? Or your person, your loved ones. I just don't know. Don't feed in to his or her addiction. Somebody got an addiction, whatever the addiction is. Everything is not drugs, but addiction of, we got a dominatrix, right? So don't feed into her addiction, okay? So we have that. Measure is given. A necessary measure is given from a man to a woman. A necessary measure is given. So that's just like you giving somebody a warning, or you letting somebody know that they need to quit it, or whatever it might be. Right? So we have arrow pointing on, so you're going to be spot on with that thing. So you might be dealing with the computer. It could be somebody you met on the computer, or whoever this may be. Right? So we have that. You're going to lead because maybe something is actually in the attic, or you're going to lead with your head, with your brain, right? From up there, upstairs. Not with below. Get what I'm saying? You're going to be doing some journaling or this person, right? Because you don't love yourself or this person you connected to, right? So we have, it's newsflash moments, and you're getting to see that. You're going to do some journaling, right? Because it's some insulting remarks that you're going to get from this person, or you might have put out, right? Maybe as far as money, or somebody trying to make it seem like you was cheap, or whatever this is. Get the counseling you need, that's needed, or this person needs to get it, whoever you connected to, right? So you may be scared to be a real man, so whoever we got that card up there, a lady or trans, right? So a trans is a male, they get things done to be like a female, right? So this card will go with you. You may be scared to be a real man. Scared to be a real man. Let's just see. Okay. Somebody's going to have to run a suitable business. So maybe something going on online. Talk to your parents to heal your soul. So you might have to talk to your parents about what's going on with you, right? Something is for entertainment, whatever it is. You might do something for entertainment. Or somebody might think it's entertaining what the person doing to you. Because you're going to have to clean yourself in whatever way. In whatever way. Your mind, your thoughts, or whoever this is you're talking to who trying to look at you as cheap maybe, or whatever this is. Or less than. You taking all the anger out on whoever, or this person taking this person's anger out on whoever, right? So this person is insanity driven, right? We might be dealing with somebody who live in Kentucky. Don't have to, okay? Or you might have a friend that live in Kentucky. There's some controlling measures that has been taken or will be taken or need to be taken or anything like that as far as a situation. So you might be dealing with somebody online maybe, with business online maybe, anything like that. Or you might actually just met the person online or something like that. Or maybe you want to make some kind of changes to yourself in general. You know, and able to get yourself turned, you know, transformed to a trans or something like that. But you need to talk to your parents, you know, because sometimes people like to spring things on their parents, on their family, and expect them to just accept it or accept them. Or how are you going to tell your mother to call you Edward when she named you Sandy? How are you going to tell your mother to call you Roberta when your name is John? Whatever your name is, you get my drift. You don't tell your mother what your name is. Your mother raised you and born you. So you can keep that out there. With some parents go along with things because they don't have no problem with it because they know what your name is on the birth certificate. They know what they named you, so they just go along with it for your benefit, to make you happy. But then you have other parents that's not going that direction because they feel like you forcing everything on them. And why should they be forced to think like you think? But you want to be respected and accepted. But you can't demand and push and make somebody accept what they don't want to accept. The only thing you can do is just stay away from those people who don't accept you. Because just like you want what you want, they want what they want. And I'm talking about parents now. If your mother and father go out and decide to do whatever, most children or the parents they will have a fit. You know, but then when you go and decide to do whatever and you expect your parent to just go along with any old thing, and then tell the world that your parents don't accept you and this and that and don't love you, all this kind of stuff. No, you don't just push something on somebody and tell them they have to this and that. They don't have to accept anything. You got to accept the decisions you made, not them. They don't have to never accept it because your mother knew she pushed out a baby boy. So she don't have to accept nothing other than she got a son. So out in the street, you can do all that out in the street. But when it comes down to your parents, if you got parents like that who not bending this way and that way like you want, you're going to have to take it on the chin. If your parent call you Joey, because that's what your name is, you're going to let your parent call you Joey to have that relationship with your mother or your father inside the house, I'm saying, not out all among a lot of people when you are alone. Get what I'm saying? You can't get to take away from your parents. You already changing your body up from what they gave you and what God gave you. But you can't strip away the name too and tell them they left with nothing. How selfish are you? So if you're making whatever decisions you make, you don't have the right to tell your parents what they can't call you and can call you because they brought you in this world. Okay? So it's taking me there with this right here, because this might be with somebody working, met somebody online, or plan on getting some kind of sex change or whatever this is. You know, and God said you need to talk to your parents. I see the computer card. Falling into a trap of insanity. Where it is. Talk to your parents to heal your soul, God says. Talk to your parents. Don't go tell your parents what they gotta and they must do and must accept. Who are you to tell your parents what they have to do? Last I checked, they the parent. Right? You be respectful, you get respect back. But you don't get to tell somebody what they gotta accept. Your mother is not going to call you Joey unless that's one of those parents that just don't want to make you mad and don't have a problem with things. Most men is not going to want to call their son Rebecca, I'm telling you. Now, if we got a man that's willing to call his son Rebecca and don't have no problem with none of that, he a gay man. And that's a fact, because most men, straight men, is not going to want to be calling their son no female name. They don't want their son to be walking around looking like a woman, period. If they never talk to him again, you're not going to make them accept that because they're a man. And that's just all to it. So you just can't just try to force your ways on people. You know, if you change whatever you change about yourself, okay. Go ahead, change whatever you change. But you take that out in the street somewhere. You don't come to your parents trying to make your parents accept this and accept that. That's not negotiable. You know. So the best way to handle that is to sit down and get that healing, God says, with your parents. Talk to your parents. And when you're in the company of your parents, and that would be home, right? Evidently, they will call you by your name because that's what they gave you. You don't sit and not talk to your parents ever again because they won't call you Rebecca. You know, what sense do that make? No. And say they don't respect you. They respect you. They're not going to call you no Rebecca because that's not the name that they gave you, and you are not a female. And some is not going to accept you as that. I don't care how much makeup you put on or whatever you do. Because the bottom line is, when you came in this world, you was a male. When you came in this world, you was a female. I don't care what you get put and done to you. That's the bottom line. Period. Period. So don't try to push your ways on your parents. So, when you're alone in a home, you know, among each other, they call you your name because that's what they're going to do. That's the way for you to be able to deal with your parents calling you your name. You make sure you don't go out with your parents. That's the only way things going to stay good with whoever this is I'm talking about. This situation, stay in the house and your mother call you Joey or whatever your name is, and you take that thing on the chin because that's what your name is, period. Right? When you out, you only take your parents out with you. You ain't got to worry about your parents calling you Joey out there, right? Because you don't have them out there with you. You can't have it both ways. You can't just smack your parents in the face back and forth. Smack them one way and then come back and smack them again. Oh, I'm getting my sex changed and I'm getting turned into a woman or into a man or whatever. And then smack them the other way saying, but you got to call me the name I chose for myself. It don't work like that. Not with some parents. Like I say, some of them will go along with it because they really don't have a deep down seated problem, especially mothers, right? With it, right? They go with it and they love the relationship with their child, right? But most fathers is not for that. And that's just the bottom line. Not men who is straight. They not for no stuff like that. So if you willing not to talk to your father again, and you got a problem because your father don't want to see you switching around in a skirt, and you sitting there saying your father don't love you. Your father love you. Your father been loving you. Deep down and been loving you. But a real man is not going to want to see a man in a dress walking around in a dress switching around. It don't work like that. And you sit and say, well, he don't love me because he won't let me just walk around the dress. No. Sorry. You don't get to do what you want to do, not with your parents. Some parents adapt and some of them is not adapting. And if they don't adapt, just deal with them over the telephone. Right? Or if you got the kind of parents that you can come to their house and they call you by your real name or whatever it is in the house, you just go with it. Because you asking a little too much when you go get your sex change, and then you get this new name and all, and you want your parents to smack in your parents both ways with all this new information and telling them they don't love you because they won't accept all the decisions you made. No, that don't mean a person don't love you. Because everybody have their own feelings, whatever they are, and you can't push your feelings on them. So that's your thing. So if it's your thing, you deal with that thing, you live with that thing, but don't try to push it and force it on your parents. Right? Because somebody need to go talk to your parents. Sit down with your parents, let your parents know. Maybe you plan on doing something online, you're looking at something online, and you plan on making a change. You need to sit down and talk to your parents ahead of time before you do anything. If you haven't done anything yet, or if you did do something already and you and your parents is estranged and you barely even see them or whatever, you still need to sit down and heal this situation. Okay? That's the first of them.